Hey, it's Grady at Twin Creek Audio, back in the studio today with another one of my favorite pieces of recording gear, the Urei LA-10 compressor. They made a 2-channel version of this, which was the LA-22. What I have is the LA-10, which is just a single channel compressor. This thing has input and output transformers, and it has a really cool feature. You've got a variable compression curve or knee control on the front panel from average to peak. That's the coolest feature of this compressor, besides the fact it sounds great and it handles a lot of sources. I've used it on bass players that play really hard and slap the strings, and this thing controls that kind of stuff and even makes it sound really good. So that's why it's one of my favorite pieces of gear. Let me bring you in for a closer look, and then I'm going to run some signals through it so you can hear what it sounds like. Urei. And all the way over here on the other end, since it's a single channel version, LA-10 compressor limiter. Got this whole blank area. You know, if you had the LA-22, that would look just like this one. I've seen those before. So starting from left to right, the threshold. Then you have that detector control from average to peak that I was talking about, so you can vary the compression curve or the knee. You've got attack controls, attack and release on independent controls, the ratio, which actually has an auto setting, and then the output level. And up here at the top, you've got the gain reduction meter, and then the signal level, which you can select the input or the output with that button, bypass switch, and the power. This is the back of the Urei LA-10. Sorry, it is a little bit dark in here, but the camera is adjusting okay. So let's see, you've got the power connection there on the far left-hand side of this. Then you have some terminal connections here. And then you've got an XLR output, which is going to be a male XLR connection. Then the detector circuit input, and a 1/4 inch and an XLR input on female XLRs. First, I'm going to run some drums through the compressor, just a mono submix of drums. Here are the drums with the compressor bypassed. The LA-10 can control a bass guitar like no other compressor that I've ever heard. It does a fantastic job. So let's check it out on bass guitar now. Kind of an aggressive bass track, but a little bit of a slower tempo like the drum part that we used. Rather than running a vocal track through this like I've done for the previous couple of demonstrations, I'm just going to play a track that I used an Aventone CK7 large diaphragm condenser microphone through a Cappy VP26 mic preamp into the Urei LA-10 compressor. So it was tracked using this compressor and a nice transformer balanced mic pre and a more or less kind of a classic sounding, not an actual classic, but the Aventone CK7's a pretty good classic sounding microphone that's not too bright. So that's what this vocal track is. This is from the most recent Shadow Plus Echo EP that came out at the beginning of this year. So I hope you enjoy this demonstration of what the Urei LA-10 compressor sounds like on a vocal on something that I actually produced and released. Yay!
You wanna take everything you see, it's all for you and your progeny. Big fish in a little pond with your skills and pedigree. You hate new music unless it's the same as when you changed the world in 1968.
So yeah, this thing sounds really cool. It's one of my favorite pieces of gear for that reason. It sounds fantastic on drums. You can use it on any drum, kick drum, snare drum, toms, submix drums through it. Anything you want to do with it, it's going to handle it and sound fantastic. Also is maybe the best compressor I've ever used for bass guitar. And it works great on a vocal too. So that's why the Urei LA-10 is one of my favorite compressors, favorite pieces of gear, period. I love this thing. I was really lucky and I snagged this at a local store several years ago, probably at least 10 years I've had this thing, and I got it for a really good price. They typically go for $400 or $500 now on eBay and Reverb, places like that, but that's still a great deal for the quality and the sound of the Urei LA-10 compressor. Well, I hope you found this video about the Urei LA-10 compressor limiter to be informative and entertaining. And I hope that you will all remember to check the links in the video description for ways to help support this channel, in addition to liking this video and subscribing to the Twin Creek Audio YouTube channel. I hope that you all have an excellent day, night, evening, weekend, weekday, hour, minute, second, nanosecond, whatever it is you're having. Have a good one, and thanks so much for watching.